So, welcome everyone to Mindful Moments. This week we have Emily Listman with us. She is the creator of Mindful and Well Education, and I'm really excited to learn about what she's doing in the world of mindfulness. So, welcome, Emily, and thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So tell us, first of all, how you got started in the world of mindfulness, what drew you to it, and made you decide that was going to be your career.
Well, for me personally, I was struggling as a teacher. I was really overworked and I was stressed, and I was having health problems as a result. So I actually quit teaching first because I kind of had to attend to my body. Yeah. And that's when I started trying to incorporate some more wellness and self-care and relaxation techniques into my life. And that's how I discovered mindfulness. But as I was discovering it for myself, I was reflecting on my students and my experience as a teacher and wishing that I had had more opportunities to share that with the kids when I was still a full-time teacher. So it became clear as I was sort of becoming healthier again that I really wanted to shift my career away from, I was a history teacher, away from that and more towards helping kids. And then I kind of expanded to parents and educators as well, but helping them to incorporate more wellness and mindfulness in their life.
Great. Yeah, I think it's such a great skill. It's too bad they don't teach it in teacher training school because teachers, so many people leave the profession because they're overwhelmed and stressed out and things. So I love that you found it and then kind of re-entered the field, but helping others learn those skills. So tell us about the company that you founded and what are some of the things that you're doing within it.
Yeah, so it's called Mindful and Well Education, and I help youth all the way up to young adults and educators, and sometimes work with schools, and then also parents. And I'm helping them to improve their wellness of the body and mind. And I do it sort of through 4 guiding principles: mindfulness, heartfulness, embodied movement, and connection with nature.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So heartfulness, a lot of us are probably familiar with that, but just trying to cultivate more positive qualities of the heart, like compassion and gratitude. And then embodied movement, anything that's really helping to strengthen the mind-body connection, and through the movement, sort of practicing mindfulness and relaxation. So like yoga or qigong or mindful walking, just anything that, breath work as well, just anything that helps kind of calm the body down and the nervous system.
That's amazing. I love the 4 principles. And how do you, I know you do coaching, like one-on-one coaching and group coaching, I think. So tell us a little bit about, do you run courses or workshops, or how do you get those principles out to different people?
Yeah, so I do private coaching, and I'm just starting to pivot to doing that online. I was just doing it in person. So like a lot of us are doing right now, I'm trying to figure out, navigate that whole thing of offering things online. But yeah, and then I was doing in-person workshops, which I'm also starting to try to do online now. And they were always very small, and I was hosting them in my home, in my backyard. So it was usually just like 4 or 5 kids or parents and then I am also working with schools. So for example, a local preschool hired me recently to come in and just do a teacher training and offer strategies for teachers, but also that they could adapt and use for their kids as well.
Great, awesome. So you've got a whole range of things there.
Yeah.
So just before we finish today, could you maybe share a couple of your favorite practices that you found work well with either with adults or with students, that are ones that are kind of your go-tos, I guess?
Sure. Yeah. I think a lot of people watching this are probably familiar with kind of a lot of the basic mindfulness practices, but one that I just actually sent out in a newsletter earlier this morning that I adapted for using with my connection with the nature principle is to get outside with a child or just yourself and find something like a flower or a leaf or a pretty rock, something natural, and just holding it in your hand and observing it mindfully for 2 or 3 minutes and really just noticing all of the teeny tiny details that you would normally overlook, the colors, the texture, and then just really taking the time to kind of give it the attention that we don't normally do, that we tend to just overlook these little things that we're walking by every day. And so after you do that, then sort of transitioning to showing gratitude to this item. And so thinking about how this item helps you, how it helps other living beings, sort of its place here in the earth, and then finally saying thank you to the item, putting it back in the earth, and then taking a look around you and noticing other items like that and saying thank you to those as well. And then after finishing the practice, kind of taking a moment to just notice how you're feeling and if you feel any different from, before starting the practice and after. So it's a really simple one that works with kids. And then another thing you can do, especially if you're working with kids, is to use like a living creature, like a little bug. And they really like that. That makes that an exciting practice for them.
I love that. I love anything that brings us closer to nature, and we're always so rushed, and so it's a beautiful exercise, I think, and it's amazing. Nature is truly amazing when you stop and, and notice, isn't it? So I love that practice. So thank you so much, Emily. Is there any last message or anything you want to share with our viewers before we finish today?
No, but thank you so much for bringing me on, and it was great to talk with you.
Great. It was lovely meeting you, and stay safe, and thanks again for joining us on Mindful Moments.
Thank you. You too.